আপনারা দেখছেন SR24x7 নিউজ।
You were encouraging women to, the entire WPL was your brainchild, and you were instrumental in giving rise to that, and also the pay parity that women cricket and men's cricket. Can you please tell us something about it and how this?
Firstly, I think thank you for having me here. Nimesh and Patrick come all the way from England. They must be surprised to see what they see in India, but that's what India is all about. And you asked about women. It's not just the world. It's a bit similar to what football is in their part of the world. So, and in terms of women's cricket, I think they've been fantastic. Yes, when I was in various administrative roles, I helped to set up structures for women's cricket. But the most credit should go to the players because they actually play. And I've seen the transformation from 2019 to 2025. The 6 years, the growth has been unbelievable. And all credit to Smriti, Harmanpreet, Richa, Deepti, Jemima, Shefali, and you take names, Charani, and I've seen them actually play in front of my eyes. I'm involved with the Delhi Capitals, and last season I was in charge of the women's team, and I spent the whole tournament with them. And it was phenomenal to see what we do. And it's not just the women in India. If you see the women in Australia, the likes of Annabelle Sutherland, Meg Lanning, and Alyssa Haley, and Beth Mooney, and Ashley Gardner, they're unbelievable cricketers. South African cricketers, Woolbart, Madison Cap. We just name one after the other. There's so much talent around the world. England, Stanshire, so women's cricket is on a different scale. And this is only going to go up. What is the happiest part of everything is the board, the cricket board. Obviously, I'm not involved with the BCCI. I'm the president of the Cricket Association of Bengal. The cricket board gives so much impetus and push to women's cricket. You see the structure in England, you see the structure in Australia, you see the structure in India. It's a great story for every young girl who wanting to grow up and play the sports. Earlier, it's the future. But you must remember that you all have to be very, very good to actually be a part of this system. So I'm so happy with the girls winning the World Cup. If you see my tweet at the start of the season, I don't know if any of you follow, and it's still on my Twitter handle. I quietly expected the Indian girls to win the competition. Obviously, I could not write it because it was just the beginning of the tournament, and you cannot predict the world champion. But I've seen them so closely, and they're so good that I'm not surprised with what I saw. Richa, we felicitated her on Saturday. She's just 22 years old, and she hits sixes like nobody's sixes. And the effort and the distance she clears is unbelievable. So it's such a happy state to be in. Cricket in India is on a different platform. Whether it's the boys, whether it's the girls, it just creates so much opportunities for young girls and young boys to make a career. And I think that's where Kabuni comes in. When Kabuni comes in with the equipment, with the technology, with the AI, they take coaching and help produce cricketers to the remotest parts of India. Sometimes you don't get the best help when you're growing up. Once you get to the top level, then you get all the best coaches, the best training facilities, the best matches, the best practice areas. But when you start at a young age, a young girl in the north of Bengal, a young boy in the north of Bengal or the south of Bengal can get hold of this application and learn the sport, and then come to the bigger systems to play, because the state bodies provide the infrastructure, provide the game time, provide the facilities to be a part of. And once you start getting used to this technology, you'll see that how far it takes your cricketing equipment.
Since you started being a captain, 10th November 2000.
On social media this morning, and 25 years ago on this day I became captain of India for the first time. So it's great memories. We won the test, and I went on to captain for a long period of time. It's a massive thing. And today we launched Kabuni in India, and today was the day I became captain. So
Absolutely.
Leadership, coaching, all on one platform. And I hope this application, this technology is a lot of help to a lot of young boys.
So how do you think if you had to be a captain today, what do you think has changed
Nothing has
from
changed.
back to?
Nothing has changed. It's just that we play a lot more T20 cricket than we did. We grew up in an era of Test cricket and one-day cricket. We've had some absolute stalwarts, but as with time, everything goes forward, everything changes, new things come in, and T20 cricket came in. T20 cricket came in, and T20 cricket brought in exceptional talent. The way runs are scored, IPL came in, the WPL came in, and it's been for the good. The facilities, the infrastructure, the rewards for playing well for the country. With that, it brought the competition. Competition was there in the past as well. That you had to do well all the time to be a part of the sport, and it's the same now. So India has progressed enormously. I remember in 1996 when I first made my debut against England at Lord's, we got 100 of debut, and then what I see of Indian cricket, it's almost 29 years, 30 years later. You can see the unbelievable strides Indian cricket has made. Just the quality of talent everywhere. Every remote city, every remote village, you get an absolute brilliant performer. And this is the hub and the place to play cricket. And I'm so happy to see where the game has progressed.
And you'll have to investment boards to stand in front of students. They're also from not very privileged backgrounds. And you really know that mentoring can change a person's way of thinking and their outlook in life. How does Kabuni also take that into consideration?
Yeah, so I was a maths teacher in an inner city school in London. And I already had admiration for teachers and coaches before I started, but then I realised when I started to work in a school, the impact that coaches and teachers can have on students is incredible. But you always need the relationship. The relationship that a teacher or a coach can have with a student is so important. But as a maths teacher, one thing I had was as well, I could test them each week, so I could set them an exam. So I could really understand the things that they were missing, so I could really help them. So you have the relationship, but then I had also the data. Where Kabuni can play a massive part in coaching is it can do what a maths teacher has with a test. It can give them all the data they need. So imagine you have a coach who has a great relationship with his students, but imagine now he's actually receiving all the data that he needs to be able to not just help him from the technical side, but give him more time as well to focus on that sort of the leadership and mental aspects that are so important.
Just mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
So Vinny, I've got 4 children, 3 girls, 1 boy. Mackenzie, my daughter, played cricket for Surrey County till the age of 16, and she had trials in Canada to play for the Canadian national team. And the journey of her cricket career, I think we still have a lot to offer female cricketers, their biomechanics, how they train and learn. And I don't think there's enough coaches in the world that can actually deliver the coaching the way Kabuni can. So ultimately, female sports, with cricket, I think Kabuni can play a pivotal role in helping young girls learn the game and be confident learning with a companion device and software that we provide to young girls.
So is it going to be different for men, different for women, or is it just cricket, so it's going to be the same for everybody, isn't it?
I think the biomechanics between boys and girls are different in the way they actually not play, but the way they actually grow up and learn to play the sport. So understanding that through AI, I think, is going to be more powerful than just thinking everything's the same for everyone.
Thank you. That.
And there were positives and negatives. If there isn't a single person today that's not using the internet, and if they were, they wouldn't survive. AI will not replace coaches or anybody. Somebody who learns how to use AI can get replaced. So my advice to not just coaches, but to everyone in this room and even the country, is learning how AI applies to your life, your skill, your job, I think is the most critical thing for society today.
Brilliant. So I'm just seeing it as an add-on to all the coaching around the world, isn't it?
Absolutely.
To a certain extent, it's all the biometrics as well. What it does, and you get to see yourself, and you get to defend yourself. What she wanted to spin it or whatever. And you play with your where you are, what your body positions are, how much you need, how much you can get better to emulate the best and get to a position where you perform. I hope I'm correct.
Yeah, just to expand on that, that the thing that we do when we look at the biomechanics of the player, we don't turn a boomerang into a Cummings or a Steve Smith into a Joe Root. We match the style of the player first, and then we look at the technical differences to effectively coach them.
So it's a
वो खेल सकते हैं कि नहीं. मैंने सिर्फ उसको कहा कि एक रिजिम से शुरू करिए, रोज सुबह आके 10 चक्कर भागिए, इसके बाद बैटिंग बॉलिंग आसान हो जाएगा. इसके बाद वो करना चाहते हैं कि नहीं, आप पूछिए.
फीडबैक कोशिश करेंगे जरूर अगर कंपनी बोले तो
कबूरी बोले तो दादा बोल रहे तो
ये नहीं भूलनी चाहिए তারপর খেলা তোমার বকো দাদা দিকে তাকিয়ে খুব খুশি তাদের মেয়েদেরকে কাছ থেকে দেখি আরো এগোবে
দাদা একটু এদিকে তাকিয়ে
শুরু হবার আগে যারা এত মিউজিকটা দেখা উচিত শুরুর আগে, কারণ আমি এদের কাছ থেকে একটা ইন্টারভিউ একটু সামান্য জিনিস তুলে আগে থেকে
দাদা
ইন্ডিয়ান ক্রিকেট ম্যাচ এদিকে তাকিয়ে বলো কি করছো তুমি? ক্যাপ্টেন ইন্ডিয়া রিমার্কেবলি ইংল্যান্ড ইয়াং বয় গোল টু ইংল্যান্ড নট ইজি সো একটা জিনিস স্টেপ করতে হবে good wishes to him and he's an all for and a fantastic
স্বামীকে কি ভারত দেখছি তুমি বললে আরেকবার